So the second negative speaker says that we did not present a solvency claim. What we actually did, the solvency claim was that all 50 states should legalize it by passing death with dignity laws. So there's that. And then the proposed alternatives that the negative side talks about, it can't replace physician-assisted suicide. They emphasize hospice care. Hospice care just prolongs the inevitable. Who wants to lay around and just wait for death? My opponents talk about how hospice care aims to make the final days of terminally ill patients, they make them all live life to the best, but it's like dressing up a pig. It's still a pig. It would still feel horrible to know that your death is coming like in 6 months, so that feels bad. And about the price, the first negative speaker doesn't list price, but that's addressed in the second negative speaker's speech. And she says that the prescription that is usually used for the lethal dose are barbiturates, and that's a huge class of drugs, according to Time Magazine. And she states that it's $15,000 to $25,000, but as before, I mentioned that it's $30,000 for 3 days, so that's $10,000 in 1 day. So if you're diagnosed that you only have 6 months to live, 6 months, that's like 180 days, that's like $1.8 million. Now, I don't know about you, but $15,000 doesn't sound like much when it's compared to 1.8 million. So the price range, I would prefer to have physician-assisted suicide. And the negative speakers also they talk about how it's not a choice because other people can influence you, but in the end, it actually is your choice because you can choose to take the drug or not. And the first negative speaker, like her second speech, she goes on to talk about how a family member, like a medical professional doesn't have to be around, but that is true, but she also goes on to say that a family member could force you to take the drugs. Now that's going on to like a different problem. That's not physician-assisted suicide. That's murder, I think that's murder. I don't know about that, but that sounds like murder to me. And another point is the price, life support. Oh wait, no. The second negative speaker also talks about an article where she argued that anyone can speak for the drug, so like a stranger can put in the drug for you, but that's not physician-assisted suicide. That's not physician-assisted suicide. That is euthanasia. And that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about physician-assisted suicide. So a lot of the main points that the negative side has are not against physician-assisted suicide. They're more against euthanasia. And those were the problems in my opponent's arguments. Okay. Well, awesome.